Roman dodecahedrons. What were these mysterious objects really used for? Imagine an archaeologist discovering an object almost 2,000 years old. It is made of bronze. It has 12 sides. Each side contains a circular opening, and around the openings are small knobs. The object looks far too complicated to be accidental. But there is one problem. No one knows exactly what it was made for. These objects are known as Roman dodecahedrons. Over the past centuries, archaeologists have discovered dozens of them across the former Roman Empire. But no surviving Roman text clearly tells us what they were. There is no instruction manual. There is no surviving image showing someone using one. And there is no inscription saying, "This was made for." So today, we are left with one of the strangest mysteries in Roman archaeology. What is a Roman dodecahedron? At first glance, the answer seems simple. It is a small, hollow bronze object. It has 12 pentagonal faces. Each face contains a hole, and the holes usually have different diameters. Small knobs are placed at the corners. The sizes of the objects vary. Some are small enough to fit in the palm of your hand. Others are considerably larger. Most known examples date roughly from the 2nd to the 4th centuries AD. They have been found across a huge area, from Britain to Central Europe. Many discoveries come from the northwestern provinces of the Roman Empire. And this immediately raises a question. If the Romans produced them in different places, why don't we know what they were used for? The strangest thing is that they aren't completely identical. Archaeologists have discovered many different versions. Their sizes vary. The diameters of the holes are different. The number and design of the decorative elements can also vary. Some examples are almost completely intact. Others survive only as fragments. But the basic design remains recognizable. 12 faces, openings, knobs, a hollow structure. The repeated design suggests that these objects were deliberately manufactured for a specific purpose, rather than being random decorative objects. Theory number 1. A measuring instrument. One of the most popular theories is that dodecahedrons were used for measurements. The different openings might have been used to determine distance, angles, or the size of an object. For example, a person could look through one of the openings and attempt to estimate the distance to a distant object. It sounds convincing. But there is a problem. If this was a standardized measuring instrument, why do the sizes of the objects and their holes vary so much? And why haven't archaeologists found a clear Roman illustration showing how the device was used? For that reason, this theory remains only a hypothesis. Theory number 2. An astronomical instrument. Another theory is even more fascinating. Perhaps the dodecahedrons were used to observe the sky. Different openings might have helped determine the position of the sun or other celestial objects. Some researchers have suggested that the objects could have been connected with calendar calculations. But once again, there is a serious problem. We have no ancient text directly connecting these bronze objects with astronomy. The surviving dodecahedrons also do not form one standardized system, so there is not enough evidence to confirm the theory. Theory number 3. Military use. What if the Romans used them for military purposes? The Roman army was famous for its engineering skills. Soldiers measured distances and built roads, camps, bridges, and siege structures. So the idea of a military function seems reasonable. But archaeology has not yet established a direct connection between dodecahedrons and the Roman army. Some examples were found in military contexts, but others came from completely different environments, so we cannot simply claim that they were military equipment. Theory number 4. A tool for handicrafts. There is another unusual theory. Perhaps dodecahedrons were used to make gloves. The different holes could correspond to different finger sizes. A craftsman might have used the object as a kind of mold. It sounds interesting, but this theory also lacks sufficient evidence. Why are the openings arranged in this particular way? Why do the sizes vary so much? And why haven't archaeologists found other similar tools? There is no clear answer. Theory number 5. A candle holder? Some researchers have suggested that the dodecahedrons may have been used as candle holders. At first glance, the shape could work. The object can stand on a surface because of its knobs, and the holes could have had a decorative or functional purpose. But once again, there is a problem. Why are the holes different sizes? And why create such a complicated structure for an ordinary candle? Bronze was also a valuable material. Creating such an elaborate object simply to hold a candle would have been unusual. Could it have been a religious object? The Roman world was filled with religious cults. People made offerings to gods, used amulets, and performed rituals involving many different objects. So another theory suggests that dodecahedrons may have had a religious purpose. Perhaps they were connected with local cults. This is especially interesting because many examples were found in the northern provinces of the Roman Empire. There, Roman traditions mixed with local beliefs. But once again, we face the same problem. There is no inscription that confirms this theory. The most important clue may not be on the object. Sometimes archaeologists learn more from where an object was found than from the object itself. And here we see an interesting pattern. Dodecahedrons have been discovered in many different contexts. Some were found near other objects. Others were discovered inside buildings. Some came from areas associated with military settlements. Others were found in hoards. This could mean that they had different functions. But there is another possibility. Perhaps we are making a mistake by trying to find one universal purpose. Maybe different dodecahedrons were used for different things. Why didn't the Romans write about them? This may be the biggest mystery of all. The Romans left behind an enormous number of written sources. We know about the Roman army. We know about construction, medicine, trade, religion, agriculture. But no surviving text clearly explains these objects. Perhaps they were so ordinary to a particular group of people that nobody thought they needed to explain their purpose. And this happens even today. We use thousands of everyday objects that seem obvious to us. 2,000 years from now, an archaeologist could discover one of them and have absolutely no idea what it was for. The most interesting discovery. Every new dodecahedron has the potential to change our understanding of these objects. Because archaeology does not work like a detective story where the answer is already known. Scientists collect small pieces of information: shape, size, material, location, nearby objects, date, signs of use, and only then do they attempt to reconstruct the object's purpose. So today, the honest answer is, we still don't know what Roman dodecahedrons were used for, and that is exactly what makes them so fascinating. Final. The Roman Empire left behind roads, amphitheaters, temples, coins, and thousands of written documents. We know the names of its emperors. We know how the Romans fought. We know what they ate and how they built their cities. But sometimes, among all these well-known facts, a small bronze object appears that completely challenges our idea of how much we truly understand about the ancient world. 12 sides, 12 openings, small bronze knobs, and almost 2,000 years of uncertainty. Maybe it was a tool, Maybe an astronomical instrument. Maybe something used in handicrafts. Maybe part of a religious ritual. Or perhaps its purpose was so ordinary to the Romans that they never thought it necessary to leave us an explanation. And that is the real mystery. We found the object. We can measure it. We can examine its surface. We can determine its approximate age. But the most important question remains unanswered. What exactly was a Roman using it for 2,000 years ago? Until archaeologists discover an ancient instruction, an unmistakable image, or another example found in a context that reveals its purpose, Roman dodecahedrons will remain one of the most mysterious discoveries of the ancient world.